Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to cover probably the most popular deluxe resort in all of Walt Disney World in under 5 minutes, and that is Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Disney's Polynesian Resort has been one of the original resorts at Walt Disney World, and while it has been around since 1971 when Magic Kingdom opened, it is by no means a dated, old resort. This is still a very popular place to stay, and for a lot of great reasons. So let's start by talking about just this amazing location. We talked a little bit in our last video about the Grand Floridian and why that is such an iconic location right next to Magic Kingdom, but directly across from the Magic Kingdom entrance is the Polynesian Resort right across Seven Seas Lagoon. So very similar to a lot of the resorts that are in this area, there are multiple ways for you to get to and from the parks. And this resort in particular has absolutely stunning views of the fireworks at night over at Magic Kingdom. There's a huge beach area that you're able to go to and sit in the sand and listen to the music being pumped in while the fireworks light up the sky. And that is a great activity to do if you're staying at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Now, this is located on the monorail as well, so you have monorail access not only to Grand Floridian, Magic Kingdom, and the Contemporary Resort, but you also have that connection point over at the Transportation and Ticket Center. So this is a really popular location. It's a great place for families. It's a great place to have celebrations and celebrate some big milestones as well. And it is in that deluxe category, which means these rooms are going to run you anywhere from about $500 a night up to $1,000 and more, depending on different room categories and types that you might be interested in. So, all right, let's talk about the rooms. There are so many new room types because they just opened recently the Polynesian Tower Villas. This is part of the DVC collection of hotel spaces at Walt Disney World, which is also their timeshare system. But this tower was built directly in between the main Polynesian Resort buildings and the Grand Floridian. And this tower now has a lot of different room types that have kind of expanded the availability of some DVC type villas and suites over at the Polynesian Resort. You're gonna find duo rooms, which are only for guests up to 2. They have a pull down table bed. So those can be really great if you're just looking for a couple's getaway, a friend's getaway, something like that. And that'll be running you on that lower price point side for the Polynesian Resort. You're also gonna have standard rooms, 2 queen rooms. Everything at this resort is gonna be themed to obviously the Polynesian style. There are some slight nods to Moana and other favorite characters, Lilo and Stitch, throughout the rooms, throughout the decor, and throughout the lobby and resort. So if that is your vibe, if you love that tropical feel, you're gonna get that and you're gonna feel like you are really immersed in that vibe, that energy, that Hawaiian experience when you're staying here. So besides the standard room types, you're also gonna get villas, deluxe villas. You're gonna have 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom suites. And there's also the bungalows, which are located over the water right along Seven Seas Lagoon. Now these are gonna be premium locations. There are very few of these available, and these are definitely hard to book, but they can be a very special option for those of you who are celebrating something big or going with a larger family. All right, let's talk about some of the amenities here. There is some fantastic dining, probably the most popular restaurant on property for breakfast outside of Topolino's Terrace at Riviera is going to be Ohana's Breakfast, where you can actually dine with Mickey, with Lilo and Stitch, and it's a very popular one for anyone who is a fan of those films and shows. And you're also going to find things like Trader Sam's. You're going to find Captain Cook's, which is your quick service restaurant option, Pineapple Lanai, where you can get Dole Whip at your resort, Kona Cafe, and other special places to eat at this resort. So you're not going to be wanting for food. Great variety. Again, a lot of Polynesian inspired food, some Asian inspired food, as you can also look at Kona Cafe, which is a great option for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then of course you can talk about the pools, the splash pads, all the usual activities like Movie Under the Stars. This resort is going to give you everything and more for your whole family to really enjoy your experience in the most magical place on earth. So if you stayed at the Polynesian Resort, drop in the comments what you've loved about it, any recommendations or tips you have. I will say this resort is absolutely a must visit at least once. And if you're not staying there, definitely make it a point to stop on the monorail and visit this resort. Maybe grab a great meal over at Ohana or at Kona Cafe, as I mentioned, and you can still luxuriate in this beautiful location without having to stay there as well. So definitely worth the visit. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos in the series, our 5-minute hotel overviews at Walt Disney World. Thanks again.